We're into week 4 of the Texas high school football season, and it's time to separate the contenders from the pretenders. Bart, with $10,000, we'd be millionaires. We could buy all sorts of useful things, like love. We're fixing to pick them. Welcome in to Fixin' to Pick'em in partnership with the NFHS Networks, your guide to the Texas high school football weekend. My name is Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. Thank you for tuning in. Just because there's a lot of bye weeks this week, especially in 6A and 5A, doesn't mean that we're light on the Texas high school football schedule. We start in Denton. 7 p.m. Friday night at C.H. Collins Stadium in Denton. It's the Denton Ryan Raiders welcoming in the Frisco Lone Star Rangers. What are the keys to this 5A clash? Number 1, the quarterback matchup. This is the big headline, right? You've got Jason Shelley, the outstanding quarterback for Frisco Lone Star. You got Spencer Sanders, the tremendous signal caller for Denton Ryan. How do they stack up in this clash of titans? Key number 2, the first half. So, believe it or not, Denton Ryan, even though they're 3-0, they haven't always looked like a top-tier team. In fact, they have trailed at halftime of all 3 of their games this year. And if they do that, if they fool around in the first half against a very good Frisco Lone Star team, Jason Shelley and company will bury them. Denton Ryan has to start hot. And key number 3, Frisco Lone Star's front 7. For all the talk about Denton Ryan's outstanding quarterback Spencer Sanders and their great wide receivers, this is a team that does want to establish the run with Tyreek Davis. How do Nick Bolton and company on the Lone Star defense respond? Who am I picking? I like Denton Ryan in this one by a hair. This is Lone Star's first game on the road. They played their first 3 games at the Star, so that's a little bit of an element in this one. Beyond that, I think Denton Ryan's physicality plays a big-time role in this one. This is a team that wears you down. I think they wear down Lone Star and get a win. Meanwhile, 7 p.m. Friday night at Rosenberg's Traylor Stadium. It's the Richmond George Ranch Longhorns welcoming in the Woodlands Highlanders. What do we make of this matchup in the Houston area? Key number 1, Eric Schmid. The Woodlands quarterback has been outstanding all year long. He's been throwing the ball, he's been running the ball, and more importantly, he's been making great decisions. That's the kind of thing we expect from a coach's kid. How much of an impact does he have on this game? Key number 2. George Ranch's secondary offense. We know exactly what Richmond George Ranch wants to do in this game. It's what they did to win the 5A Division I state title last year. They want to run the ball, and they want to give the ball to Alex Fontenot early and often. But they're going to need some offensive diversity to get past this very good Woodlands defense. That's where quarterback Antonio Jackson has to have a big game. Can he be that secondary threat for the Longhorns offense? And key number 3, the hangover effect. So the Woodlands last week got a huge win over Katy. They drubbed the Tigers, and I guarantee you they've been celebrating ever since. They had that game circled for months and months and months. But now they have to go on the road to a very tough George Ranch team, a team that wants a piece of the team that just took down Katy. How do the Woodlands handle the new expectations? Who am I picking? I like the Woodlands in this one. I think the Highlanders go on the road and get a win. I think that defense is humming right now. And beyond that, I have some question marks about this George Ranch team. Last week, they kind of struggled against a team from Mexico, having to kick a last-second field goal to win. George Ranch can absolutely prove me wrong. They did a lot last season. But for now, I like the Woodlands. What a matchup out east, 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Bulldog Stadium in Carthage as Gilmer takes on the Carthage Bulldogs. This Gilmer team is high-flying. They can score from a lot of different places on the field. But this Carthage team is not to be messed with. I think this game is close, but I think Gilmer comes out with the win. Down in Austin, 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Burger Stadium, Austin Bowie welcomes in Austin Westlake. This is a very interesting matchup because if you haven't been paying attention to Bowie, they are 3-0 and Jeff Abels has this team humming. Meanwhile, Westlake is still without quarterback Sam Ellinger. Can the Westlake defense lead them to a win? I think they can, just barely. Meanwhile, up in the Panhandle, 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Wildcat Stadium in Canadian, the DQ big game of the week pits Stratford against Canadian in a big-time rivalry matchup. This Canadian team has struggled. They're 1-2 on the year. We've got question marks about them, and trust me, there is nothing Stratford would like more than to drop their rival to 1-3, but I like Canadian to come out with this one. But those are far from the only big Texas high school football games in week 4 of the season. Let's get to the lightning round. I like Albany over Anson. Give me Alto to take down Garrison. And in 6-man action, I like Balmorhea to beat Garden City. I like Cibolo Steel to beat Smithson Valley. Give me Cuero to beat Gonzales. And I think Denton stays hot. I think the Broncos beat Keller Timber Creek. Speaking of buying in, I'm buying in on El Paso Isleta. I think they beat El Paso del Valle. Give me Ira Ann to beat Mason. And I'm going to go with Lancaster over Mansfield Lake Ridge. I'm picking Longview to beat Mesquite Horn. Give me Mission Vets to take down Aroma. And Newton stays unbeaten with a win over Bridge City. I'm super impressed with what Sean Bell is doing at Round Rock Cedar Ridge. I think they take down Temple. I think San Antonio Johnson beats San Antonio O'Connor. And give me Seagraves over Wink. In a battle of unbeatens, I like Sinton to beat Beeville Jones, and Texas High takes Carrick Kilgore. And finally, give me the defending champs Waco La Vega to beat Mahia, and I'm going to take Woodville to beat Liberty. That's going to do it for Fixing to Pick'em in partnership with the NFHS Networks. What am I wrong about? Which games did I miss? Leave comments down below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/DaveCampbells. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/DaveCampbells. And of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the Texas High School football weekend. We'll see ya.